So class, last time we had done the trends in the modern periodic table, where we had discussed how valence electrons, valency, atomic number and the reactivity. When we talk about reactivity, we are talking about the metallic and the non-metallic properties. How these change when we move across a period, that means from group 1 to group 18, and when we come down a group, which means from period 1 to period 4. Today we are going to discuss a little bit more about those properties, and for that you need to have a look at the table. The atomic numbers are written over there, the mass numbers are written with the symbol, and the electronic configurations are also written. This is the first property that we are going to do, position of metals and non-metals in the table. I have written over here, position of metals and non-metals in the table. Now all of you have already been told that metals are those elements that lose electron and form cations, which are positively charged ions. Another property of metals is that the number of valence electrons in metals are 1, 2 or 3. Valence electrons are the outermost electrons. So elements, if you look at the periodic table, elements having these number of valence electrons are always on the left side of the table. So we deduct that metals will be found on the left side of the table, and these are some examples: sodium, magnesium and calcium. Let's have a look at the table. See here, number of valence electron 1. Here the number of valence electron 2. Here 3. Sodium valence electron 1. Magnesium valence electron 2. If you move to this side of the table, here you are going to see the number of valence electrons are 5, 6, 7. Right. So these will not lose electrons. These are going to lose electrons. So we say that metals are towards the left side of the periodic table. Talking about the non-metals, all of you already know the non-metals are those elements which gain electrons and form anions, which are negatively charged ions. When we talk about the valence electrons, they have 4, 5, 6 and 7 number of valence electrons, and if you compare the periodic table, these electrons are found on the right hand side of the table, right? So we are going to deduce that the non-metals are always on the right hand side of the table. If we take some examples, nitrogen, oxygen, phosphorus, these are the examples. See here, you will see nitrogen 5 electrons, so this is going to take 3 electrons, and if it takes 3 electrons it becomes negatively charged, so it is a non-metal. Chlorine 7 electrons in the outermost orbit, it is going to take 1 electron, it is going to become negatively charged. So this side of your periodic table has the non-metals, whereas this side is going to have the metals. This is how you are going to find the position of metals and non-metals. Now the third type of an element is known as metalloid. Okay, 2 we have already discussed, metals and non-metals. The third one is a metalloid, like I have written over here. Elements that show properties of both metals and non-metals are known as metalloids, and these metalloids are placed between the metals and the non-metals. Metals are towards this side, non-metals are towards this side. In between, the non-metals have been placed, and the examples are boron, silicon, germanium, antimony, tellurium and polonium. These are placed in a zigzag manner in the periodic table, separating the metals and the non-metals. The second property in the modern periodic table, nature of the oxides, that we have to do. Oxides means when anything combines with oxygen, it is going to produce an oxide. So when metals combine with oxygen, they give us metallic oxides. When non-metals combine with oxygen, they give us non-metallic oxides. We are studying metals and non-metals. The metallic oxides, they have a basic nature. When we talk about basic nature, it means when these dissolve in water, they are going to give you bases, like NaOH, KOH, MgOH whole twice. Whereas non-metallic oxides, they have acidic nature, which means when dissolved in water, they are going to produce acids, like sulfuric acid, nitric acid. The sulfur oxides will give you sulfuric acid. The nitrogen oxides are going to give you nitric acid, likewise. So the basic oxides, these will be located on which side? The left side, right? Because we have metals on the left side. So on the left side you will have basic oxides. The acidic oxides will be on the right side of the periodic table, since we have non-metals on the right side. So moving from left to right, the basic oxide property is going to decrease and the acidic oxide property is going to increase. This is the next thing that we are going to do, the type of bonds. There are two types of bond, covalent and ionic. Ionic we have already done before. So ionic bonds, they are formed between metals and non-metals. One is going to be a metal and the another one is going to be the non-metal. This is formed by the transfer of electrons. Okay, so metals are going to lose electrons like we said just now, and non-metals are going to gain electrons. So this loses electrons and is transferred to the non-metals. Thus an ionic bond is formed between the two, which means that if we pick up from the periodic table, this bond will be formed between the group number 1, 2, 3 and the group number 15, 16 and 17. These are the group numbers. So an element from group number 1 is going to combine with an element of group number 17, let's say, and it is going to form an ionic bond. So these are the groups that are going to combine together to give you an ionic bond. On the other hand, the covalent bond is formed between two non-metals. No role of metal over here because this is formed by the sharing up of electrons. The metals are not there, so nobody is there to lose electrons. Non-metals only, so they share the electrons, and non-metals we know are found in group numbers 15, 16, 17. And they also combine with hydrogen, that is in group number 1. So if these elements belonging to these groups, if they combine together, they are going to share their electron and thus they are going to form covalent bonds.